What is going on, guys, and welcome to a small little division video, as you can see here. My name is Mini, or Crisis, whichever one you prefer to call me by. And yeah, so basically all this is going to be is a small video showing what build I'm running, because as I'm running darkzone, which I do a lot with my group or solo, I tend to do a lot of 1v1s, I tend to go man-hunt a lot, and this build suits me very, very well for my kind of playstyle. And I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me what build I'm running, what my DPS is at, that kind of thing. So, as you can see here, this is a high-end slash exotic build which I'm running with a lightweight M4 and a M700 carbon. Now, sometimes I will run the tactical SASG instead of the M700 carbon, but it depends what kind of situation I'm in. But I'll mostly run the sniper with the headshot damage, which is really nice. So, this is to help anybody who wants to build a decent high-end build. Like I said, this suits my kind of playstyle. I face tank an awful lot rather than going in for the hipfire. So this is perfect for me. Some of the stats on the armor pieces I can, improve on. Like obviously the armor on the gloves I need to get a lot higher. So I'm trying to grind to get a better pair of skulls. But, this build it's done me well throughout my time playing in this 1.6.1 patch. So let's get into it. So first off, we are running a vigorous chest piece which grants overheal to all of our healing skills, which is really nice, with all resistance, 14,000 health and 49% ammo capacity. Like I said, those stats can get higher, but I'm yet to find a vigorous chest piece that's better than this one at the moment. On these, I am running a prototype electronics mod with health rolled and a prototype firearms mod with health roll as well. Pretty much all, if not all, of my my mods for my armor are rolled health mods, just to give me that boost in toughness, because I'm not running any health apart from my holster, which has stamina roll on it. None of my gear has stamina. Like as you can see, they're all either electronics or firearms, as you can see there. I don't think in this patch rolling into stamina is worth it, because it just doesn't give you a significant amount that you should be rolling into it. You can use that roll so much better into firearms and electronics, and it'll benefit you a lot better than it will with stamina. So bear that in mind when making your build, if you haven't made one yet, that is. So down to the mask, we've got a refreshed mask, which obviously gives all healing. All healing is improved by 30% when in the last segment of health. So when you're in the last bar down the bottom right there, if you pop your heal, it'll increase the heal by 30%, which is really good if you're in 1v1s or anything like that. And then I've got a tenacious mask then, depending on what I'm doing. Again, with this one, I am running a stamina mod with health. As I said, I always roll health on my mods, just give me that bit of extra toughness there. Down to the knee pads, we've got Shortbow Championship knee pads. Now these are really good for my playstyle. For that detonation of the grenades is just perfect for me, because I use my grenades a lot. Well, I say a lot, depending on how many players I'm up against. If I'm up against a lot, I'll use grenades just to try and thin them down a bit. So, as you can see, the fuse time on grenades is reduced by 0.20 seconds, which is really good, which pretty much blows up instantaneously. On this, I am running firearms again, as you can see, and I have critical hit damage. I don't so much pay attention into the minor attributes as much as I should, because I don't think they benefit me that much. But on this, we have 30% bleed resistance, 29% blind / deaf resistance, and 33% disorient resistance. Now, I'm running a stamina mod, which has health rolled, and then I'm running a performance mod, which is plus 6% first aid self-heal on that, and that has 1667 armor. Like I said, armor can get higher on a lot of these things, but it's a matter of, time and patience waiting to find something better than the one I currently have. Up to the backpack, we are running a specialized backpack, which adds 200% of your firearms and stamina to your skill power, which is really nice, and I would say is essential in this patch if you're going to be running a high-end build. This is rolled onto electronics just to give me that extra boost of my overheal, which is really nice considering I run solo and in a group a lot, so I can heal up my team as well as. This has health rolled onto the major attribute, 55% ammo capacity, and again has a firearms mod with health rolled onto it, and then we've got 2 performance mods which both have critical hit chance. So that's an extra 4% critical hit chance, which is really nice for my pulse there. Onto the gloves. If you're running a high-end build, purely high-end, no gear sets, these gloves I would say are a absolute must-have for your build. Skull MC gloves. These are probably the best gear in the game you can get for a high-end build. And the reason for that is because the damage is increased by 16%, which is a huge amount when there are no set bonuses active. So if there's no gear sets active, you will get an increase of 16% to your guns, which is really good. On the major attributes, I've got 1,331 assault rifle damage, 8% enemy armor damage, and 5% critical hit damage. I would like to replace the enemy armor damage with either skill, haste, or critical hit damage, but again, waiting to find a better. I think I still have an exotic cache open. I do. It's certainly getting a bit off topic, but it's a matter of waiting and finding a pair of skull gloves which is better than that. And down to the final piece of the gear aspect of this is my holster. Now this is a pretty damn good nimble holster. Electronics could be a little higher, but for the firearms and stamina, it's really good for what I'm running. It's not the best you can get, but it's a good holster. So we've got nimble, which isn't as good in this since it's been nerfed as it was before, but it's still really useful for if you're running the dark zone and you've just got out of combat. You can use the nimble to recover your health rather than using any medkits or heals. Basically what it does is after completing a cover-to-cover move in combat, you heal 2% of your max health for over 4 seconds for every 1 meter you run, which is really good. On this I'm running 4% critical hit chance just to give me a boost of damage in my gun, in my lightweight M4, and I'm running a performance mod which has 5.5% first aid self-heal, as you can see there. That's the gear aspect of my guns, of my build, my apologies. And as you can see, I am running 7,540 firearms from that, 3,331 stamina, there you go, 4,093 electronics with 388,095 primary DPS, 300,358 toughness, and 144,532 skill power, which is perfect for me. Would like the skill power a little higher, but it's at the sacrifice of either the DPS or the toughness, which I'm not looking to do. So, onto the guns. My primary, I am running a lightweight M4 with plus 22% enemy armor damage. It has a 24.8k base damage on the gun, which is really nice, with deadly, responsive, and adept. This gun, honestly, I was so hyped when I rolled this, because I was running a Elvoa before with competent instead of adept, but I'm liking adept a lot more with this, plus it has a higher base damage to it as well. So, that's the gun I'm running. On to the mods. We are running a C79 scope on top with 16% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 6% headshot damage, which is really, really nice. Onto the mag, we've got 119% magazine size, 4% critical hit damage, and 5.10 rate of fire. Down to the grip, we've got a small grip red with 19% critical hit damage, 4.5 reload speed, and 2.5 stability. And then finally for the muzzle at the end, we've got a loud vent break with 18% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 6% headshot damage. With the Xbox, I wouldn't recommend scaling into headshot, because obviously with the controller it's a lot more difficult to control the accuracy of the gun, especially if you're trying to aim at the head rather than on PC. So I would recommend, if you're going to run a build like this, to run critical hit damage, because it's a lot easier for you to control. Onto the marksman rifle here. It's an M700 carbine with 143k damage. It has 166% headshot damage, and the talents on it are prepared, brutal, and elevated. Now, elevated I would like to change off, but obviously I can't because I've rolled brutal, so it's a matter of finding a different sniper. But this is a really good sniper from what I've had. I can two-hit most people if I do get the headshots. And I've been accused of running Deadeye quite a lot because I get the 2 hits. But this is a really, really nice sniper for me. So on to the mods. As you can see, with this I am running headshot damage, which is... With snipers, I wouldn't recommend critical hit damage as such. I think headshot damage is worth scaling into. because you're not exactly keeping the accuracy on head at all times. It's one shot and done, and you can kind of pop shot like a shotgun, where you tap the left trigger and obviously it auto aims onto the body, and then you can just flick up and shoot, and it lands on the head. So I've got pretty good at that, so that's why I'm running this. So onto the scope, we've got a VX1, which gives me 18% headshot damage, 2% accuracy, and 2.5 stability. Really good scope for this kind of sniper. Onto the mag, we've got 118.5 magazine size. What's up, Swoony? 4.5 reload speed and 5.4 rate of fire. Onto the underbarrel, we've got a handstop Coyote with 3.5 reload speed, 2.5 stability, and 4.5 optimal range. I may change this out at some point to maybe one of these grips, which would be really nice to give me that extra crit hit damage if I get a headshot. But for now, we'll stick with the handstop Coyote. Then for the final piece to this gun, we have got the muzzle, which is an Omega rifle suppressor with 18% headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, and 2.5 crit hit chance. Really good muzzle to have on your sniper if you are going to run it, and then obviously burst Twilight for the skin there, but that doesn't really matter. And then the last but not least, we have the shotgun, which I tend to run every now and again, not so much as I do the sniper, but with this it has 344% stagger, 122k damage with adept, deadly, and accurate. Really, really good shotgun this. Now, I don't run shotguns a lot because I don't like them, in the sense of, not so much that I don't like using them, it's so much that I think they're a bit cheesy. Like, they're too powerful at the moment, so I don't like to use them. Because I don't like getting killed by shotguns, so I don't want to, use it on other people. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm running there. As for the mods, my apologies, let's have a look. As for the mods, we are running a Pro Red Dot sight with 16% crit hit damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 5.5 headshot damage. The underbarrel has 17 crit hit damage, 2% accuracy, and 5% reload speed. And as for the mag, I'll just switch it out for my sniper, which is obviously the same as the last one, which is 118.5 mag size, 4.5 reload, and 5.4 rate of fire. Then we got the first with X45. I wouldn't really, rely on your pistol. It's whatever you want, really. You can have a shotgun, you can have a revolver. I just have it there because it shoots, really fast, and it's fun to just spam the trigger of. So yeah, that's pretty much the build here, in terms of what I'm running. As for the abilities and mods, I will either run a overdose with a scrambler pulse. If I'm doing 1v1s, obviously I'll use tactical scanner, but I'll either run the first aid with overdose and a scrambler mod for the pulse, or depending on, because I've noticed this patch, a lot of people are running flame turrets and shock turrets, which are super annoying to come up against, so I tend to run immunizer more now than I did before. So either I'll run the pulse and the first aid with overdose, or I'll run the overdose and the immunizer, which obviously, it removes any status effects that you have on you. And then obviously recovery link for reviving my teammates when they're down, as well as. Onto the talents, I am running Triage, which heals an ally with a skill. Heal an ally with a skill to reduce my cooldowns by 15%. So this is really good if running in a group. Drop a heal on the floor, have your teammates run into it, and it'll reduce that cooldown quite a bit. A lot of people I've noticed run Adrenaline. I don't know why, if I'm honest. Adrenaline, I would say, is a really, really useless talent to have on, considering what it does is, if you pop a medkit, it now heals over 10 seconds and will not stop the healing when taking damage. I don't know why you would have a heal over 10 seconds when you can just not have that enabled and just pop a heal with a medkit, and it'll heal you straight away for a large chunk of health. I don't know why people run Adrenaline. It's a bit crazy to me, but all to their own. Personally, Adrenaline for me is a no-go. It's not worth having, and it's a lot worse than any other talents that you can run. So the Triage is the first one. On to the second, we've got Critical Save, which is use a medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for over 10 seconds. This is really good. for if you're doing either 1v1s or you're in a sticky situation. Pop that medkit, you've got that nice little damage resistance to face tank any enemies or run away depending on what your playstyle is. Combat medic, really good for if you're running in with a group. This has saved my group a lot more than I can say. Basically what it does is if you use a med kit near your allies, it heals your group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%, which is really good. So if your teammates are low, they got no heals, run up to them, pop a med kit and it'll put them up on the heal quite a drastic amount. And then for the final, this is good for my sniper. It's tactical advance. So basically, if I complete a cover-to-cover move, it increases my weapon damage by 2% for every meter I've covered for 5 seconds. Which this, for my sniper, is really good because I can do some serious damage if I get this this talent enabled during my PvP. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much my build and what I'm running. And yeah, if you want to copy it, feel free. If you want to take some you know, if you want to take some motivation or inspiration from this build and go and build your own version of it, by all means go ahead. But this has been the build. This is what I run for anyone who's ever wondered in the Xbox community that I've come up against. And yeah, this is my build. Hope you all enjoyed. I hope this did help a lot of you to create a build of your own. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, smash that like button, leave me a comment on what you think. Hey, if you feel like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake, 'cause I don't fucking care.